Hello there. I've been expecting you. If you're like most people, my face probably looks familiar, but you may be trying to place my name. I'm Mr. Dewey, the caretaker of this wonderful, magical, haunted house of man's imagination called the library. Today, I'm here to tell you about a new movie that takes place in this wonderful world of books called The Page Master. You might call it an epic, but it's really more like 3 zillion adventures rolled into one. Catch this action, see what I mean, then stick around. I'll make it worth your while.
Whatever you imagine is where your heart can go. There are worlds filled with treasure, time without measure, to learn whatever you may need to know. Imagine you and I could fly past the sun and leave all our doubts and fears behind us. You see, that's just what can happen if you look inside your mind. There's no limit to the wonders you can find. Whatever you imagine can make your life brand new. There are miracles waiting, so keep concentrating. And I promise you that if you do, whatever you imagine can come true.
Ever since I read my first book, this place has been very special to me. I mean, where else could you find the horrors of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? The adventure of Treasure Island.
Come aboard, matey.
And the fantasy of Gulliver's Travel. All under one roof. And it is in a library like this one that Macaulay Culkin first begins his odyssey in The Page Master.
Welcome to the library, young man.
First, we open the film in live action, and Christopher Lloyd is the librarian who confuses Macaulay Culkin for a boy who has come in there to get a book. The librarian says, don't tell me, I have a wonderful way of guessing what people need.
You're in need of a fantasy. Brave knights, mythical fairies, ferocious dragons.
Look, all I want is
Adventure, of course. You're a boy who loves adventure, brimming with wicked demons, cutthroat pirates.
No, that's not it.
Take the fear of every child you've ever known and stick them all into one kid. And then you have Richard Tyler.
Hey, guys, look! Richie Tyler! Hey, Tyler!
It's a wonderful story about a timid boy
Hey, what's the matter, you chicken?
finds the meaning of life in the library.
This is a film that I think in its core concept is very appealing because it's about a child who gets lost in a fantasy of what can happen inside his imagination, what a library can evoke, and what books can create.
I think what you have is a sense of the reality in the real world of the live action, of what we live with every day. This boy going into this magical place, and something happens. And what happens is that he's basically turned into an illustration.
What? I'm a cartoon.
You are an illustration.
Christopher Lloyd, who is now the page master, he sends this boy on an amazing journey into the fiction section.
Who are you?
I am the page master, keeper of the books, and guardian of the written word.
Patrick Stewart is playing the part of adventure, the swashbuckling chauvinist of an Errol Flynn character. He's every macho, cretin adventure character that you've ever known before.
Well, I'm afeard I've been dry docked in this library far longer than I'd like to remember. And I sees it. You and your library card and me ticket out of here. Is it a deal, matey? Ooh, I'm naked.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the spirit, lad.
Whoopi Goldberg is the other character. She plays fantasy. I didn't want a white-bread Victorian lady to play this. I wanted a more contemporary woman. I wanted a woman that had some attitude.
Where's Har? Wasn't he with you?
He was, but I sort of,
Oh, what did you say to him now?
Well, I just, I'll go find him.
Yeah, you better go find him. And be quick about it.
The third character, who I think is my favorite, the Hunchbook, Horror.
Huh? No, wait! Don't go in there! It's scary inside. In this
And Horror is this book with a misshapen spine whose father was an encyclopedia, but his mother was a paperback. And he feels that he's been misshelved in life. All he wants to do is be left in a section with a happy ending.
I'm afraid
Of what?
of and
I know how you feel.
horror always has sad endings.
The books basically say to Macaulay, look, if you check us out, we'll show you the way out. Well, they haven't been checked out in forever, and thus the adventure begins because they move from one area of the library to the other.
Well, he goes into like different books, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
The giant squid!
Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland.
With his head!
And Moby Dick.
It's Captain Ahab, it is. Did you see it?
See what?
Moby Dick! There she blows!
I have a story of a child who is very timid, very cautious, very unadventurous, who, as a result of his experiences, finds daring, courage, and how exciting life can be.
The library itself really takes on a completely different personality, a very animated personality, because you're stepping into the worlds of adventure, and yet you might be on Treasure Island, but are those rocks in the background in the shapes of books? Are those stairs in Dr. Jekyll's house that as you begin to go up are made out of books? There's the whole feel of never forgetting that you're in the library. The library really is a major character, a major personality in the course of this. It's an exciting project because it's able to do two things which projects rarely do that. Be able to entertain, make you laugh, make you cry, make you think, and at the same time walk out and look at a library a little bit differently.
Hey, people often ask me, how do I get so animated? Well, what they should be asking is, how did the page master get animated? That, my friends, is one whale of a tale.
Animation is probably the greatest art form known to man. I really believe that because it incorporates so much. It incorporates music and art and dance, theater.
It's taking us 3 years to make this film, which a lot of people in the live action world are stunned by. But we're making films the hard way. We start with a blank sheet of paper, and we're trying to create David Kirshner and Maurice Hunt's vision.
What makes it special is it's probably one of the last handcrafted things that are being done in the world today. Where I mean, we use computers for some of the imagery and for some of the painting and such. But for the most part, it starts with an artist in this room with a blank piece of paper and a pencil.
We've got a team assembled who worked on American Tail, Land Before Time, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. We've got some of the finest artists that exist in the industry right now working on the Pagemaster.
Wyatt begins to grow around the dragon.
Just to slow him down, then it's just coming out. The spines are taking over the dragon, or else he could get up and start flying and attack them again. So
we didn't want the threat. We wanted the threat of the dragon to be stayed for a while.
There were literally hundreds of drawings that were done, and David and myself sat down and went over each one, which one would be the correct mood for that sequence. And then as designers came on, I handed out these drawings, and that was a starting point to start from, and we started embellishing from there too.
We recorded the script first. They had a concept of what the pirate looked like, and I was shown, in fact, a three-dimensional model of how adventure would look. And that was very helpful. But we created the character in here first.
The voice talent are the first step about bringing this character to life.
Line 1, take 1.
I'll bet Flint's gold she's never even seen the exit.
I've seen it more than you have, Shorty.
What?
In fact, the exit's just beyond my fantasy section. I see it all the time from Rapunzel's tower.
Then what are ye doing in these parts, eh? There a witches' convention round here, maybe?
Look, I was misshelved.
So I'm going, put me down, you ugly.
I just try to look at the actual video sessions that will be recorded or the actor recorded and see what were the things that they actually did in recording the dialogue. And then I just try to transfer those things onto the drawings so that way I know that I'm hitting the same key, the same emotional key that they hit when they were actually recording the line of dialogue, and so that way it always syncs up with the action. When we get a layout that actually gives us the size reference of the character relating to the background space, they don't really take any responsibility in putting expressions and stuff on the face because they sort of leave that to us to really enhance the acting in the scene. The pencil test is basically it gives us an idea as to how the character's playing, how the animation looks, and then we sweat box that, which means that we all kind of get into a small room and look at it and say, this isn't working, that's working.
This is a rough pencil test on video that we can show the directors the scene before it gets final approval. We just shoot either 1 frame or 2 frames for each drawing. We have a light box which shows us, like, if we have different levels, like this scene we have 2 different characters. And this way we can shoot the characters together and get an idea of what the final scene's gonna look like.
Quick, find page 1001.
Arabian Nights?
That's it.
I think altogether, we're talking about how many drawings?
We're figuring almost, probably close to 1 million drawings that will be done, both finished drawings, rough drawings. If you laid all the paper end to end, we'd have a roll of paper about 200 miles long.
In animation, we all work together in such a tight unit, a team. We bounce things back and forth. David has always been the spearhead as far creatively, as far as putting the story together, the type of characters that he sees in his mind. We flesh it out, give it the personality.
We have a ton of drawings that we put in to these scenes, and we do many thousands of drawings over the course of a film. We work in pencil, and we have to do a very, very nice, clean, crisp line.
Line work is then transferred to a piece of clear plastic, which we call cells, and then we turn it over and paint it in so that when it's done, you can still see the outlines on the front. It could be anywhere from 12 cells per scene to hundreds of cells per scene, and they just need to paint them multiple times so that when it goes to screen, it appears the character is moving.
scene in which Jekyll is going to take a drink from his glass, and it's the liquid that will turn him into Mr. Hyde. Final checking, what we do, we just literally look at every frame with all the cells set up the way they're supposed to be right before it goes to camera.
We get the finished background artwork here, we get the finished cells, and we composite them onto color film here. On average, it'd be one cell every 2 frames, and there can be as many as 6 cells stacked on top of each other.
This is an actual camera-ready artwork. We have a background, we have the effects of pixie dust and fantasy. She flies into the scene here. She flies down, she picks up her wand, and her pantyhose begins to droop. And there she says the dialogue.
Now I gotta straighten out my Little Mermaid underwear.
Animation is quite labor-intensive, and you need to check it every step along the process of production, just to make sure that you're on the right track.
It's easy to see why everyone loves animation, but the Pagemasters creative team faced a problem that few animators have ever had to deal with: blending live action with their animation. That was a job for some of Hollywood's brightest special effects people.
David's original idea that Macaulay would walk into a library, get lost in the library, and walk into a huge room where a rotunda is over his head. The rotunda begins to drip and turns into a tsunami of color that chases him down through the corridors.
The idea with using the computer graphics here was there was really no other way to, first of all, to melt that dome. We wanted this wave of color to be otherworldly, but we didn't want it to be cartoony because we wanted people to kind of question, well, gosh, that looks like paint, but it's got a personality. It's moving. It's got a will. Everybody knows live action. Everybody knows cell animation, but this sort of in-between look of a dripping and a realistic look and a 3D look, people aren't really going to understand what that is. So we were real happy to be able to utilize that technology and make that transition work really well. And
we're sort of the process that takes Macaulay from the real world into the cartoon world. I had to animate these drips that sort of come off here and they actually pour down. The drips coming down are actually something I did in 3D. The drips are animated separately and then composited on top. Special effects is all about compositing layers, multiple layers of things together in a believable way.
This is the dragon shot. This is a shot where the puddles of paint that dripped on in one of the earlier scenes merged together and turned into this cell animated dragon. We started out the shot with an animatic that they sent us. Some of their cell animators designed the shape of the dragon and how it would move. Then it was my job to set up the shot and actually do that.
Fun things about this production was that none of us really knew what it was going to look like before the production began, because we were creating software and tools that had literally never been created before. So it's a little bit scarier that way. You're not exactly creating something that has been done. In the same respect, it gives you a lot more freedom to play.
I think that our goal is to be able to create the movies that work on a number of different levels, and I think with the animated films over the last several years, you've shown you can do that. And kids will respond to great-looking characters, great songs, and so on, but I think adults will respond to another level, and that's really what we're aiming for, is to be able to deliver entertainment on both of those levels.
Just because you're in a library doesn't mean you can't listen to good music. Here, put these on for size. And here's Babyface and Lisa Stansfield singing Dream Away, the theme to The Page Master.
When this world, the real life world you're living in, just gets too much for you today.
When you find too many troubles on your mind and feel just like there's no escape, and it seems your heart's forgotten how to believe, turn a page in your soul.
There's a place you can go. Close your eyes and let your heart fly free. Fly free. Dream away, dream away. Let imagination light your way. Take you as far as your heart can see. Dream, dream away, to a place where hope is shining. Find your silver lining. Everything you need, everything is just a dream away.
Thank you. And Dewey thanks you so much for joining us here. Maybe I'll meet you in the library sometime soon. Until then, I hope you will agree that when it comes to fantasy, adventure, and fun, The Page Master is the film that wrote the book.
From the creator of An American Tale.
You're in need of adventure.
Whatever you imagine,
all is possible.
20th Century Fox presents Macaulay Culkin as you've never seen him before.
Look at this place.
On a fantastic journey into a land of endless wonders, where he'll scale the heights of the world's greatest adventures.
Moby Dick! There she be, Treasure Island!
Happy birthday! And bring back the ultimate prize.
You've got to fight to make a wish come true.
That's it, boy!
His own courage.
Yes!
Macaulay Culkin.
You're the greatest.
Christopher Lloyd.
Triumph here and always.
This Thanksgiving, take your family to a world beyond imagination. The Page Master.
Twentieth Century Fox invites you on the adventure of a lifetime in the most magical film of 1994. Richard Tyler is about to take an incredible journey. Out of the storm and into a world where imagination runs wild. This is only the beginning. Macaulay Culkin, The Page Master. All the adventure your imagination can hold.